Happy Friday, February 9th. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and welcome to Wasatch Weekends. On this morning's edition of the show, I have a conversation with Katy Wang about all things Park City Film and what to expect this weekend. Plus, Ross had a conversation earlier in the week, and we're spicing it up a bit from couple to throuple. So you're going to want to hear that one. And then smoking. What are the health implications of it? Ross spoke with an expert as well to tell you all of the things that you should be looking out for if you choose to partake. But before we get started, let's take a look at today's weather. If football is not your thing this weekend, don't worry. There are plenty of other viewing options for you. Park City Film has such a curated list, and I had a conversation about Katy Wang on what you can look for this weekend. Well, it is officially the weekend, and you know what that means. There are a host of incredible films being presented by the Park City Film organization. Joining me today is Katy Wang. Katy, how are you this morning?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. Now, it is a big weekend in the world of sports, but a big weekend in the world of film as well, because you've got some incredible films that you're showing. So tell us all about them.
Absolutely. So, well, we're not going to do football this weekend, but Formula One is kind of a close second if
It
you're
is.
in the world of sports. My husband's a huge fan, so since we're taking a break from F1 right now, you can reconnect to that fabulous sport with Ferrari. This is a fantastic film starring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz about Enzo Ferrari, of course. And this is about a time, after he'd built his company and things were just not going well. I mean, he's kind of on the edge of bankruptcy, trying to figure out how to save this iconic, car company. And he just decides to go for broke and bet everything on the 1,000-mile race across Italy called the Mille Miglia. And it's just, a beautifully done film. And Adam Driver, Penelope Cruz, just incredible actors bringing to life kind of the trials and tribulations, not only of being a business owner, but just he had a very complicated personal life. And just that passion that drives creative people is so fascinating to see. And it's, it's destructive, but it's, invigorating. And it's all of these things together that just makes for a fantastic film that they put together in Ferrari.
Absolutely. And I think it's so interesting to see it from a different perspective. We know the brand as luxury. We know them as being expensive, but to know that there was a bit of a struggle, and then Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz, I mean, an incredible film just from that alone.
Right, absolutely. And if you are a big, car aficionado, you know that a lot of these luxury cars started as, racing cars. But, for the uninitiated, and I consider myself amongst that group, I think it is a bit of a surprise to realize that this was kind of a passion, and really just the side bit was selling the cars to make money so they could fund their races. So not a bad gig if you can get it, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree on that. So where is the film, where is it showing? And then how can we get tickets?
So we'll be at the Jim Sandy Auditorium, which is on Park Avenue here. You can see the theater behind me. And it's Friday and Saturday at 7, and then again Sunday at 6. And we want to thank Julie Hopkins, Keller Williams Real Estate for underwriting the film. She and I share a love of Adam Driver and all of the films that he's in. So she's thrilled to be underwriting the film and helping us bring it to the big screen, and we thank her for that.
Well, add me to that shared love as well. Adam Driver is an incredible actor, and everything that he does is so diverse and interesting. So outside of Ferrari, there is another film. Tell me all about it.
Yes, so we have our matinee screening. We have started a partnership with the Park City Library, and every other month we show a film in Spanish, and it's part of our Cine en Español series. It's new this year, and it's really a way to showcase and celebrate the Spanish-speaking community at large, but certainly here in Park City as well. And so this is a documentary from Uruguay, and it's called We Dream of Robots, Sonar Robots, and it is about these two groups of kids in a rural part of Uruguay who have no cell phones. I mean, they walk to school. I mean, the old joke of, oh, I walked uphill both ways to get to school. I mean, literally these kids, it can take them 6 hours sometimes one way to get to school because of floods and lack of access and all of these things. And still they go, right? I mean, talk about dedication to just education and trying to, just have a better life for yourself. But that kind of imbues itself into their love of science and robotics. So they start these robotics teams. And really what they're looking at is trying to create solutions to environmental problems, problems that have come about because of climate change, whether it's flooding or, excess heat. And they end up competing in the first ever robotics competition in Latin America that happened to be in Uruguay that year. And it's just so exciting not only to see them kind of pursue their passion, but really just hear them talk about what drives them. Like, what is their life like living in these communities of 500 people in the middle of this tiny little country, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and just kind of how much that inspires them and really connects them to the rest of the world in interesting ways that are very unexpected and delightful. So that'll be in Spanish and English, actually, subtitled in English as well. And that's a free screening. It's Saturday at 4 o'clock. So please come on over, free popcorn as well as an extra enticement to come sit and enjoy this great film with us.
It sounds so interesting. In 6 hours to get to school one way, that's incredible, and dedication for sure. So sounds like a great film to watch, and very educational to those of us that don't live in that world, and very exciting stuff. So Katy, more information, any upcoming volunteer opportunities, anything that we need to know?
Sure. We can go to parkcityfilm.org, of course, to get all information on these films, to get tickets in advance, or you can buy your tickets at the door an hour before showtime. We do have robots, of course, is free, so just come on over and show up. We're happy to have you. We always are looking for volunteers for our weekend screenings. So when you're on our website looking at films and ticketing opportunities, if you go to the upper right-hand corner, there's our volunteer tab, and you can look at our schedule and figure out, like, oh, I'm free on Saturday, or maybe next week, or maybe 3 weeks from now. We'd love to have you. We can show you how to make popcorn, which is just this highly valuable skill you need on your resume. You really need that. But really, that is the heart and soul of Park City Film, is the wonderful volunteers that we have that help staff our concessions and ticketing, and just kind of bring that community atmosphere to light. We have lots of great films coming up. Of course, it's Academy Award season. So if you're looking to see some of the eventual, certainly the nominees, but some of the eventual award winners / best films of the year, we've got you covered. Poor Things, of course, will be next weekend. American Fiction, and on and on. We've got some great films that we're continuing to book. We're also bringing a great film called Pasang about the first Sherpa woman to ever summit Everest. So lots of things to choose from, but you can check it all out at parkcityfilm.org.
Well, you always do such an excellent job of curating a wide variety and intriguing films. So excited to see what 2024 continues to bring. Thanks for all that you do, Katy. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Now stay tuned. We've got a bit more on the show. We'll be right back after this. There are so many interesting reality TV series around relationships. And boy, Peacock TV is taking it to the next level. Ross had a conversation with the hosts and experts from Couple to Throuple, which is a new show premiering on Peacock TV this weekend. Let's take a look.
Debuting on Peacock is a new dating series called Couple to Throuple, and joining us this morning is the host of that show, Scott Evans, and relationship expert Shamira Howard. Thanks for joining us this morning, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Shamira.
Shamira, excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. How are you guys doing? You guys look great out there.
Thank you. We're well. Thanks. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So this new show, Couple to Throuple, can you guys tell me a little bit about the basis of this show and what people can expect?
Yeah, what people can expect is, I think, a dating show that they are going to love. I think it has everything you normally get in a dating show and much, much more. We wanted to have this experience with couples who were open and honest about the question, are we better as a three? Is maybe the dynamic that we're living in now better served by opening our relationship, opening our hearts into something more? And so they came down to Panama and had a time.
Yeah, I can imagine. And that's what viewers can expect, right? It's kind of a uplifting show and kind of open their eyes a little bit. But where did this trend kind of start? And I know it's gaining popularity, but kind of where did this trend come from, and how's it growing?
Well, it's not necessarily a trend. It's more of a relationship structure that's been around. It's been around.
Right.
Actually, it's older than monogamy. So, non-monogamy is much older than monogamy. However, here in America, monogamy is the preference for people. We've been socialized to be monogamous. However, what we know is that research tells us that 34% of adults would rather some form of non-monogamy in their lives, while most people practice monogamy. Thruples are really increasing in popularity under the polyamory umbrella. So we know that about 16 million Americans are now in some type of non-monogamous and polyamorous relationships. And because thruples are becoming increasingly popular, where they weren't before, because thruples are seen as monogamy plus one. So not very popular under the polyamory umbrella, which polyamory is multiple relationships. And thruppledom is now being seen as a popular choice because a lot of people are now considering opening up their coupled relationships.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. What are some of the benefits that come from a relationship like this?
Well, one of the main benefits is that people get to explore simultaneous relationships at one time. So, for a lot of people, monogamy is going to be the choice all the time. But there are other people who recognize that monogamy just wasn't or isn't for them, and they get to explore a relationship structure and dynamic that feels more authentic, where they feel they can be more authentic and they feel like that they can exist as who they are meant to be in this structure. So it definitely is not for everyone.
Awesome, yeah. And Scott, like, why stop at 3, right? Like, is there is there more than 3? You know, where does this kind of balloon up to?
Man, it could be as much. It could be as many as you want. But you know, for the idea of the couple to throuple, we had to stop at 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, if it had been up to me, we'd have been coupled to as many as you want.
Love that.
But what I will say in all seriousness is that, you know, I think that there is a real benefit to being open, being honest, being clear, and being supported. And I think that that is ultimately what our goal in this experience was, no matter the number that you would end up with, because it wasn't a guarantee that any of these couples would actually leave as 2.
Right.
And so, you know, it really was about having a experience they've never had before, that so many people are curious about, and about making sure that they knew that they had all the support they possibly could have. You know, it also was an opportunity to showcase for the first time on television ever this rather unorthodox, perhaps, view of a relationship dynamic, but also something that was inherently queer, right? We've never seen a television show like this where at least someone in the dynamic is going to be having a queer experience, right? And so, meaning that both people in the experience will be having a queer experience, right? And so it was just something that I was so very, very much excited to be a part of, very much excited that it was going to exist. And when I found out we were going to be doing it with the Dr. Shamira Howard, I was like, sign me up. Dr. Shamira, what I say? I will accept this role.
I will accept this role.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You guys obviously have some great chemistry, but what can people expect from the show? It sounds like there's 4 couples that kind of get paired with a third person to their relationship. Are there fireworks? Is there drama? Comedy? What can we expect?
It sounds like you wrote the trailer right there. It's all of those things. I think that it is going to have everything that you've ever wanted from a dating show experience, and much, much more, because there are 3 people in this dynamic. There's always going to be more of all of the things you have in a relationship. But I think it's also going to be a surprise for people to know how much they see themselves in this experience, how much they have also been curious about this experience, maybe surprise themselves with some conversations they have at home.
Right, right. I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
It's a good time. We cannot wait for you to see it. It's February 8th. We drop episodes in batches of 3 every week until the finale. So we cannot wait. Come join us.
Awesome. And how long are the episodes?
They long.
Long.
Good. So we can kind of
But
binge
not
watch
long
those
enough,
first.
if you know what I'm saying.
Amazing, amazing. February 8th, Couple to Throuple coming to Peacock. Amazing. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything else people should know?
I have a question.
Go shoot.
You ever thought about it yourself?
As a single man, not really. I got to start with one, man. I got to get one before I get three.
Start with one. Go all in.
I know that's right.
But after I get that one, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who
Well, at
knows?
least you're open-minded. And that's just what we want people to do, is to just be open-minded when you come into the show, and just know that while this might not be your relationship dynamic, it works, it's real, and it's for those who want it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us this morning. Couple to Throuple sounds amazing. Can't wait to tune in a couple days here.
Now, what you choose to do with your own personal choices is up to you, whether you choose to smoke or not. Ross had a conversation with an expert about just what you should be on the lookout for if you choose to partake. Let's take a look at that conversation.
The CDC's Tips from Former Smokers campaign has helped millions stop smoking over the years, and their campaign's launching again this February with some new faces and some new messaging. Joining us via Zoom now are some members of the campaign. Christy and Angie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Good? All right, awesome. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about this campaign and what the goal is for the Tips from Former Smokers?
Sure. CDC's Tips from Former Smokers campaign features real people, not actors, who share stories about their smoking and how it led to health consequences in order to encourage and inspire people to make an attempt to quit smoking. This year, we're really excited to feature 7 new people, most of whom used menthol cigarettes. Menthol is an ingredient that can make it easier to start and harder to quit smoking, but quitting is possible. And today's ads really share messages for all people, including people who smoke menthol cigarettes, to let them know that they can quit too.
Yeah, amazing. It's one of the hardest things in life, I think, to kick one of these kinds of habits. What specifically about menthol cigarettes make them so dangerous and hard to start and stop?
Well, the menthol has both cooling and numbing properties. So it allows smoke to be inhaled more deeply into the lungs and eases the harshness of cigarette smoke. So that's why menthol is more commonly used among young people. It's also aggressively targeted to specific groups, including Black Americans and the LGBTQI plus community, as well as women and young people. And those groups also disproportionately use menthol cigarettes. So these ads, feature people who did smoke menthol and share that message that you can quit too.
Awesome, awesome. And how exactly does this campaign help people? Obviously spreading real life stories, but how does this campaign help people?
Well, every year that our ads are on air, we see immediate and dramatic spikes in calls to 1-800-QUIT-NOW and to the CDC website, cdc.gov/tips. So we know that they have an impact. And in fact, the campaign has already helped at least 1 million people who smoke in the United States make a quit for good, and more than 16 million people try to quit smoking.
Awesome. And then could one of you maybe share a story or two about how smoking has impacted you?
Sure, I will. I've been singing since I was 3, and I sang in gospel choirs, rhythm and blues groups, even had a short stint in Vegas. And smoking impacted me where I was not able to sing the way that I used to. Not able to hit the notes that I could hit. And I adored singing, and smoking took that away from me.
Right. And so were you able to quit and kind of get back into it a little bit, or where are you at now?
I'm back into it a little bit.
Okay, good.
A little bit, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. So these stories are so impactful. You can find them on advertisements all over, but where can people go for more information?
cdc.gov/tips for more information and to see the ads. And if you want to quit smoking and talk to a trained counselor, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Is there anything else I should have asked you guys, or anything else you want to add?
I'd just like to say that let people know that I know that quitting is hard, but it's doable. And I think if you just take the action and go to the website or call the number, you can get the help that you need. I most certainly did.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you guys for joining us and sharing some of your stories. Be sure to check it out. Keep your eyes peeled. And if you know someone that needs some help, be sure to check out the website.
Happy Friday. Get on out there and enjoy that snow this weekend. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and we will see you next time.